Alright, what's going on, folks? The Old Soldier coming at you today from this cold and windy Saturday morning here in Robinson County, North Carolina. Tried to get a video out yesterday. Phone said I didn't have enough internal storage. In the process of trying to fix that, I erased my 45-minute video that I had for you, which I will try to do again next week on the 45 tenets of communism, okay, in America today. We'll cover that probably Monday. Today I want to share with you some things I ordered recently from BH Cables, some things I've already gotten from them, and also one from Carolina Defenders. If you don't know who Carolina Defenders is, go check them out. They're kind of a police supply vendor. And that's the first thing I want to talk about that I got. You know, sometimes we find ourselves in places that we cannot take a firearm, that possibly you can't even take pocket knives or anything like that. And it kind of leaves you in a position of, what can I do to defend myself? So they have these on there, all right? They're like 25 bucks. They've got a multiple variety. The one I bought was the polymer plastic spear point, okay? Self-defense mechanism, okay? It's got a belt clip sheath, got the 2 snaps, and it's fairly, you hardly know it, you got it on when you're wearing it, okay? CarolinaDefenders.com. It's just something I've decided to add to my everyday carry because, like I said, there'll be places I might have to go that I can't carry a firearm, but the reality is I could slip this into my pocket and it go unnoticed, and I'd have some measure of protection. Next that I got from CH Cables is my China paperweight. Okay? In a pinch, I can put my fingers in it and punch somebody with this paperweight. Okay? And then I've got the Alabama tire thumper. You know, got to check that tire pressure before you hit the road, and these are handy. And, you know, if you're out there checking your tire pressure and some BLM or Antifa communist son of a gun comes up on you, well, it works great as a secondary alternative to that, you know, for a self-defense device. But, you know, it's a great Alabama tire thumper. Also, for my everyday carry, I ordered 2 of these. Now, they're relatively inexpensive. And again, I got this from CH Cables. Portable saw. I'm going to put one in the truck. I'm going to put one in my van. Why? I've been watching a lot of prepper videos and survival videos, and it seems like all of them carry these little hand saws, and it can be effective in a situation where you need to maybe build a shelter. Probably. Also, from CH Cables, is this reproduction cavalry rangefinder, okay? And it's a way to estimate range out to, they've got this sucker going all the way up to 1,000 yards. Up, you know, from 100 all the way up to 1,000 yards, okay? It's a remake of the old Frankfurt Arsenal one. I've got to pull up some instructions. That's the only drawback about this one from CH Cables. It really didn't come with any instructions. I got the gist of how it works, but I want to make sure exactly how it works. There's still another one that was made by, I think, Springfield for the infantry. Did the same thing, which, believe it or not, you know, range finding is actually particularly important, especially when you need to know distance and you just, you know, not quite sure. You can pull that out. Okay, yeah. And you can mark that as a target reference point. Okay, TRP, what we used to call them in the Army. I'll probably take this out on my range today and kind of fiddle with it so I get the gist of how it works. And then I'll go in my everyday carry bag, which is my briefcase. Well, not last, let me show you one other thing. I just forgot to bring it over. Another thing I picked up was this Midland handheld CB, the 75-822. I was checking them all out. This one got the best reviews for handheld CB. I'm waiting on an additional external antenna I bought for it that can clip to the top of my truck via a magnet or my van. Shoot, probably even the top of this RV, I could find a place to stick it if I need to use it. So if you ever hear someone on the CB net going, "This is the Pineywood Hobo," that's me. Why? I'm taking over my dad's old handle. That was his handle, was the Pineywood Hobo. Had an uncle who was the Alabama Wild Man. And they would, when we'd go to visit, they would get on their CBs. I mean, it'd be no more than 100 yards apart, and start yakking that old 70s CB talk, which, come to find out, the codes are still very, very relevant and pretty much the same. All right, let me grab the last item I want to show you. This item is in particular of importance, and you might want to think about this, folks. If you wear prescription lenses and you like to shoot, these are by Wiley X. Okay. This one is a 3-blade package, and as you can see in here, it's got my prescription insert. I didn't have the bifocals put on it because I'm primarily going to use this for shooting in the range, and if, God forbid, I've got to hump it out of somewhere, these will go on. This right here is the rust color lens. I particularly like them because when I put them on, they brighten everything up without hurting my eyes with the UV rays. It also comes with a smoke colored lens and a clear lens, and I'm probably going to break down and order in the next week or so the yellow safety type lens that they carry. I don't know why they don't carry all 4 in one package, but it is what it is. I guess to get more money out of it is really what it amounts to at the end of the day. But these are ballistic eyewear. These will protect my eyes from small fragments, things like that. I wore these, the similar style from ESS when I was in Iraq. You've seen them in other videos. It was just time I had to upgrade because finding the ESS prescription inserts and the whole package it's like they just kind of fell off the face of the earth. So anyway, but yeah, back to the radio. I'm going to cover another feature. It's got 40 channels that you can talk on, but it's also got access to 10 weather channels. So, you know, if anything, I've got something that's going to determine the weather in the area I'm at, which is good to know because, you know, they're calling for a couple of the rivers around here to exceed their flood stage within the week due to prediction of more rain coming. So it's always good to know. So yeah, those are some of the things that we've got going on here that I just wanted to share with you today. That some things you might want to consider adding to your everyday carry list. Like I said, you know, there are other names for these out there. If you know what they are, you'll be able to find them. There's also the coin purse version. You know, I don't have a need for carrying all my coins in it. I like this because when I go outside on a cold day, I can thump my tires and kind of see if I need to put air in them or if they're going to be good. So, you know, enough said there. Again, Spear Point from Defender, Carolina Defender. Go check them out. My China paperweight. Okay. Yeah, again, China paperweight. But in a pinch, I can put them on my fingers and use them to protect myself. Okay. And the rangefinder, again, a lot of this I found on CH Cadle's website. Some of you also know them as Bud K. They're the same company. One's, you know, does more of the specialization in the bladed and edged weapons department. The other's kind of into the survival prepper arena, but it's the same company. They're out of Moultrie, Georgia. Okay. And then, like I said, the survival saw. Like I said, this one's going to go in the back of my truck in the toolbox. If I have to bail out of my truck, you know, this is real quick to grab. Throw in my briefcase. You know, I've got one similar to this in my get home or bug out bag that's currently in the Connex right now. You know, that's the bag that if things really, really, really get bad. But in my everyday briefcase, you know, like I said, my truck breaks down, whatever. We got this handy and foot and the briefcase, and we're on the move, we're on the go, we're good to go. So, but anyway, folks, I wanted to share those things with you. Another thing I want to talk about right quick. I got these at think dummy Walgreens, in their little office supply, school supply section. They come in a 4-pack. They'll have different titles on it, daily, monthly, whatever, but the insides are still the same. Okay, I would highly suggest you get one of those. Okay, and in it, use them for note taking, recording, and observations in your area, things going on. Make a written record of things you're starting to see that are abnormal, not usual. Things that are of concern to you in your neighborhood, your region, your locale. Okay. And the reason I say get the 4-pack, when you build your networks, you can do a whole host of things, and then you transpose from one to the other, give off to your key member, and they learn what's in them. And at the end of the day, when you no longer need it, you just toss it in the fire. It's gone. Okay. But something like that's good to have. Given the state of affairs that are going on, if you haven't been watching the news, I think it was early this week or late last week, one or two, they arrested Brandon Straka. He was the founder of the Walkaway movement, for inciting a riot and a whole bunch of other trumped up charges. I think personally, my personal opinion is that the rhinos have thrown him out to the wolves to be a scapegoat for what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. That's just my opinion. And then the whole thing about the Proud Boys leader, they're releasing information that he was an informant. He was an informant to the FBI, ratting out sex traffickers and drug dealers. If I knew where they were at and who they were, I'd be doing the same darn thing all day long, twice on Sunday. Okay, that kind of scourge cannot be tolerated, must be eliminated and eradicated by all and any means necessary. So, and to show you how lenient the laws are, I can't remember what, I want to say it was Florida. There was an inmate recently released. Okay. And he hadn't been out long, and now they're looking for him now because he has been molesting his 9-year-old cousin or niece. It was one of the two. Autistic. Because some liberal judge determined that because, he hadn't really gotten any trouble in prison, just let him out. More of this is going to happen, folks. Pray for the pipeline workers. As many of them have just lost their jobs because of the stroke of a pen due to Joe Blowjob Biden. Why'd I call him Joe Blowjob Biden? Because he's giving China the biggest blowjob of their life. Pardon me for the vulgarity, folks, but there you have it. He's blowing China, and Kamala Harris is, well, we all know how she got to where she's at. The Jezebel that she is. Make note of these things, folks. There's congressmen yelling at each other in the Congressional Capitol building. One basically sending out false accusations against another, and then turn around and telling the media a bold-faced lie, and the media won't tell the conservative side of the story. They're running with the bullcrap story, which is nothing surprising there, folks. We all should be ready for that. But that's what we're up against right now. You've got that dipstick from New York, AOC, saying she didn't go to Joe Biden's inauguration because she was afraid of the violence that conservatives would pull off against her. That's where we're at. You need to prepare. Because the lines are not going to be so crystal clear when this whole thing eventually starts off and kicks off. Just letting you know now. Some of us are going to have to make tough decisions about who we associate with, right down to family members. I've told y'all before, I've got a brother and a sister-in-law. You know, my sister-in-law worships the ground that Bill Clinton walked on. Hell, I think she'd dump my husband if Bill Clinton come a-calling. I mean, don't mind listening to me. Dump my brother if Bill Clinton come a-calling. It's just my opinion. And my brother probably let her. But it is what it is. Okay, and we got another brother that refuses to acknowledge the truth of the matter. He'd rather give in, play along to get along. Okay? His problem is his heart's too big. He was asked once by his company that he worked for, when they were considering possibly making him a manager, could he fire somebody? He said no. And then he cries about why he's only making what he makes and where he's at in the company. But again, it's because some of what has been touted to him in the media that, you know, everybody ought to get the same wage, you know, regardless, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, longevity should determine pay instead of performance. Now, while I agree with incremental increases for longevity, I think performance also needs to weigh in on wages. But at the end of the day, we're all going to have some tough choices to make here in the very near future, folks. Just prepare yourself. Till Monday, my friends. God bless. Take care. It's the old soldier out.